When I found out I was pregnant, which was a shocker, the doctor told me it would be my best interest to abort the baby. I wound up pulling a fit and storming out of that place. It turned out to be a miracle. He came out, he was perfect, and 2 weeks later, I just couldn't breathe. Basically, I was in congestive heart failure.
As a parent, our biggest fear is, if my kids don't succeed, what did I do wrong?
The best you can do is set them up to navigate without you.
When they're happy and they're successful, we did it. As a parent, that's what you live for.
Welcome to the Mid-Life Mafia Podcast. My name is Christy. This episode, more parenting in midlife.
Hey, my name is Marietta, and I have been a mom for 31 years, and my baby just flew the coop and is in college 3.5 hours away, and I'm missing him god-awful. But I went to see him this weekend. I feel a little better.
Awesome.
I'm Elle, and my first swaddle baby, actually my only swaddle baby, just taught me how to parallel park, which
Thank God.
Such a great thing.
We've seen how Elle parks.
Not anymore. There's this whole magic trick. Anyway, the Mid-Life Mafia is an experience geared towards women over 40. It's going to make you feel powerful, enlightened, and confident about the woman you are and what the future has in store for you. We're three very different women putting the Gen X spin on midlife, talking about all kinds of things from finances to fashion to healthcare and maybe some things that mom forgot to tell you about.
Like having babies.
My mom told me all about it.
I figured it out.
Hands-on experience, people.
Midlife is a time of change. It's a time of reflection, but most importantly, it is a time of growth. It's a time where you can use your past experiences to help guide your future, because you have done things and you've succeeded and you've not succeeded, but you can bring all those experiences forward and you can help your kids navigate this crazy world, because wow, who even has a handle on that ever?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Do we?
Does anyone? Like you said,
if you do most of the time.
If you do, you're lying to yourself.
Well, today's my little one's 9th birthday.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, Angelo.
Happy birthday.
And my miracle one, they're 7 years apart. When I found out I was pregnant, which was a shocker and a half.
Shock.
Yes.
Surprise.
The doctor went to the doctor. The doctor told me it would be my best interest to abort the baby. I wound up pulling a fit and storming out of that place.
I can't believe it.
Didn't go back there. Turned out to be a miracle. So, he's fantastic. I'm fine. But my first baby, I had PPCM, which is, I had postpartum technically, but it's called peripartum cardiac myopathy. It usually happens during the pregnancy, but they don't notice it. When I had it, it was 2009, and it was not very common. Mm-hmm. So, doctors told me that they never seen it before.
What are the symptoms? What is the deal?
Well, the only doctor, I had a lot of problems with Michael in the pregnancy, like blood pressure, I was pre-eclamptic, all that stuff, and bed rest.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure you took to, not
No,
at all.
I did, because I had a miscarriage before, and I refused to have one. Mm-hmm. And they sent me to, I guess, because even you're high risk, because my first child, I was 30. So high risk, I went to a high risk doctor. They sent me to every specialist, and the only specialist they did not send me to was a cardiologist. So, wow. And I think right before I was about to give birth, they said maybe you should see a cardiologist, but it was literally 2 weeks before they had to put me in early to have Michael. And Michael, I was so lucky. He came out. He was perfect, not preemie, not on machines, nothing. I went home, and 2 weeks later, I just couldn't breathe. I swelled
so you
up.
knew when you went home now? I thought this happened all in the hospital.
No, so I went home with the baby like normal, and they kept on telling, Danny, my mother, I didn't feel good. And I guess they thought it was a little bit of postpartum depression or whatever it was, but I wasn't sleeping. And then for a while, a couple of nights at least, I kept on saying, I can't lay down, I can't sleep. I can't, and basically I was in congestive heart failure.
Oh my God.
So
it's you never know what it is. All the symptoms are the same.
No, and yet I didn't know what was going on, but I said I can't breathe. I was going on the patio trying to suck in the air.
Oh my
it was
God.
I had Michael on October 22nd, and election day, it was November 3rd is when I went into the hospital. And because I said to Dan, you got to take me, I don't feel good. And I literally just made it to the emergency room. And then I collapsed, and then they,
So when the doctor said might not have been a good idea,
that's
to
the
Angelo,
reason. He wasn't saying like, oh, what doctor is going to say, to abort a baby?
Had to be a reason.
Other than a health problem. And he said, you could have a relapse. And I understood what he meant. But my thing is, I don't believe in abortion, so that was never going to happen.
For you.
For me. Mm-hmm. And yes, women's right to choose. But for me, that wasn't going to happen. I didn't even want a DNC when I had a miscarriage. So it's just one of those things, I didn't feel comfortable with. But I felt okay. I started off the pregnancy with Michael so bad, so it was like, it felt different. To have Angelo, I wasn't expecting it. It just happened. And I was like, all right, I'm going to give it a shot. I threatened Danny that if it became choice between me or the baby, to keep the baby. And if I woke up and the baby wasn't there, I'd kill him. I mean, look, it worked. I had the best pregnancy. And I did tie my tubes after Angelo, but I regret it. Because I didn't know I was going to have such a great pregnancy. I might have had one more. I wanted a girl eventually.
No, I had 3 boys. And there was no girls in my future. And I tied my tubes,
I
burned them.
Right, but in my situation, I was told not to have any more after Michael, and then I did get pregnant, and I chose to have him, and it went so well.
But you don't know, you might not have been lucky on the 3rd try.
No, they watched me for 6 months after
You had 2
Angelo.
healthy, beautiful children. Leave it alone.
They watched me for 6 months, and I didn't go into relapse. They said it could happen 6 months after Angelo, and like I said, I felt fine, so. And Angelo's pregnancy, I was not on bed rest. I worked up until very last moment, but they did go in early because my pressure was going crazy.
Right. Sounds like me now.
But then I was 37, difference in age, wow, I was old.
I was old. 40 when I had Jesse.
You were both old.
I know you weren't even thinking about it. Were you in your 30s for any of them?
How old was Michael? 18?
She can't even count. You were in your 20s still.
I was 29. I was 28. I was 28 with my last one. Shut up.
But how about you, Mary?
Well, like I stated, I have been a mom for 31 years. My Tommy would have been 32 in January. So, I mean, I had a big gap, too. Like,
Apparently.
Okay. I get that, ass. But
she laughed.
I had a big gap in between my children. So when Sean was born, Tommy was 14, I believe. Because Tommy was 94, Sean was 2005.
How did you break the news to Tommy?
Is that 14? I don't even know.
How did you tell him you were pregnant? Like, what did he say? At 14, you go, we're having a baby.
Well, not with him.
But he was your age when you had him.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? I did tell him. I wasn't married yet. That was my husband, at the time. But yeah, so we had him, and then a year and a half later, I had Michael. Tommy was okay with it, and Tommy was actually a really, really, really good big brother. Obviously, he was there. I have videos of him sitting down reading with Sean, and
That's
great,
cute.
Great. Yeah, no, he was amazing. I have really 3 really, really good boys. Now I'm a little lonely.
Aww.
I am, because nobody's home with me.
Sean's there.
Vaguely.
I keep on having to remind you.
But no, Sean is there, and I love my Sean, but he goes to work, he comes home, he goes out with his girlfriend, or he goes to the gym, or he plays video games in his room. Nobody ever comes out to the kitchen except for my Roscoe.
I know, but you got the dog now.
My dog, I think, loves me more than my children do, so.
Always.
You know what my cousins did for my aunt when the last one left after college? They bought her a bird so she wouldn't have an empty nest.
That is cute, but I don't ever want a bird,
I know.
please.
I'm not a big bird person
My
either.
parents never allowed us to have a dog, and they got one when me and my brother were gone.
Did they?
Well, we were raised with dogs. I raised my kids with dogs. Obviously, Bella was 16 when we put her down recently. And now I got Roscoe, who is an 8-year-old dog from North Carolina that is
He's
the
adorable.
happiest dog I've ever seen in my life, honestly.
In the time that we've been doing this podcast, I think we got the most pictures of Roscoe and Bella than we ever got of your children.
I absolutely love my children. I'm 47, and I'm not embarrassed to say how old I am. But,
Good.
Well, you're on the Mid-Life Mafia.
oh, shut up. But I'm not midlife, so
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm
really?
not. I'm
Yes,
not
you
there.
are.
I'm young. I'm not there. You people are there. I'm not.
What is wrong with you?
Marietta, This podcast is about destigmatizing the myth that midlife is
Okay.
bad.
I'm sorry. It's very good, everybody. I hope you're in midlife really, really soon. But anyway, back to me. So I have an 18-year-old.
Do you get your period still?
Oh, go fuck yourself. I have an 18-year-old, and he and both Sean are driving. They both own cars.
That's so scary.
It is so scary. I don't think I relax from the minute. I think I could breathe when everybody's home. Michael doesn't have his car with him at college because there's buses there and everything. And plus, I know they're drinking. He's joining a fraternity now. I mean,
Which one?
That's awesome.
I don't know, Kappa something. I have no clue.
That's good though.
That's why I didn't want him to have his car, because I don't want to worry even there.
Yeah, he's gonna do a lot of keg stands.
Exactly. And Sean too, like he drives and he works, and I can breathe when everybody's home and nobody's driving on the road.
I agree.
I wake up this morning and I'm at 6:30 in the morning and I'm looking at my phone and I see 3 kids were just killed. Three men were just killed at 4:30 in the morning on the Staten Island Expressway.
Really?
Yeah. I can't worry like this anymore. It's really, I think that nobody should be able to drive under 25 years old, and everybody should just get free bus passes.
It's scary with the driving. I'm not ready for that. I know Elle just started that too. It could
Terrifying.
But think about it. It can happen anytime, I guess. I don't know. I should talk because I don't let my kids do anything. So
Exactly. Also to note that Sean did what he really wanted to do, and I pushed Sean to go to college. Honestly, he's not school material. He hates school. But he went to CSI for like 1 semester, and he was like, Ma, I hate it. I was like, right, well, then you got to figure out what you want to do with your life. He went to Lincoln Tech. He loved it. He was always so proud of himself. He came home with another pipe here and another pipe there, and I almost burnt my hand off. I almost got electrocuted. I was like, all right, that excites him. I don't know.
Oh, good.
But now, thanks to my nephew, he got a really good job that he loves doing. And he's actually a week out of school. He started working for Stop and Shop. He worked there for 2 weeks, gave his notice, and now he's doing this, and he absolutely loves it. And you know what? When your children can do this, they can actually, you can see the happiness that they've actually accomplished what they wanted to do in life so far.
Right.
And that's a big accomplishment for us and them.
I was talking to my daughter, and my daughter is 21 now. She's in graduate school, first year of graduate school. It used to be that you would try to encourage them to go for jobs that you want to encourage them to go for something that they're good at, because then they'll enjoy it, and they'll excel in it, and something that can't be done by like a robot or something like that. Now that's every job. So it's like you don't even know what to tell them to do, because
difficult.
it's like everything. So, you know that always people are going to need healthcare. You know that's never going to be obsolete. The environment is always going to need to be able to have air that we can breathe. So that's something that, is a career that is going to be sustainable. But she gets discouraged sometimes just because of the state of affairs of that kind of thing. But I try to tell her yesterday, don't be discouraged. Be your best self. Do this for you and do the best and be the best, and you will succeed. And when you start going down a path that you like, it leads you to these other paths that you didn't know were there. Like even with the technology and everything, they use models for the technology. They use CGI and stuff. They have to use a real model. And I know that's being replaced with digital models and stuff like that, but there's still got to be a beginning. And just because they invent a calculator doesn't mean you don't know how to do math. I don't
know how to do math.
Yeah.
But they will. I mean, the police department uses robots already.
Yeah. It's hard to give advice to
the bomb squad.
And she was like, it was different for you when you went to college. It was a totally different experience. I'm glad I had that experience, because I don't know that it's possible anymore.
Well, we discussed this, but your generation. I mean, I know I'm Gen X technically, at the end, but from you being 11 years older than me, your age group came out of high school and was able to go into the workforce. Not so much with college. All of your age group. I told you the good jobs were there. They were there. They didn't go by.
We
the
did
college.
though. Everybody went to college.
Right, but there's a lot of people that didn't. You could still get good jobs. You could still get secretarial jobs and all that stuff. Everything that's being replaced now. And then maybe my time, and education was very important as far as college and stuff like that. But for our kids, I don't know what the right way to
right.
To really,
I know.
Like
either.
Your daughter should be okay because of the year that she graduated. And now that she's getting her master's,
You know what
by the
she
time-
brought up, though?
It would be like a long term, maybe might be an issue, but I think she'd get right in there. I think our kids, like Jesse, Michael, who are about to approach college and stuff like that, it's hard to not tell them to go into computers, go into
But that might not be what they're good at. Like, not
No.
everyone is a math person.
And, well,
or,
Jesse, you said likes the acting part. So
Right.
there's always going to need actors, right?
they're always going to be having to be someone has to present the computers to a company to buy, sort of.
Yes, right.
Of course,
sort
somebody
of,
has to
yeah.
actually put this
They're called the
presentation
salesman
together.
at Best Buy.
Right.
No, I mean, in a much higher level.
Sean did, I consider safer.
Yeah.
Because he's going to make very good money. He's going to make better money than somebody coming and working on Wall Street right away, an entry-level job, or work for the city entry-level. He's going to make more money. He's going to be satisfied. His job is not going to be replaced by
As
somebody.
long as he likes it. That's the thing. Like,
Well, he
my
does,
parents.
right.
He
Yeah,
loves
my
it.
parents told me, my dad said, do what you love. And the caveat that I put to my children is, do what you love that can sustain your existence, because you're not going to love it always, and you're not going to love it when you can't pay your rents. So,
Well, you're not going to love either way, because
Yeah.
that's just the way it works
right.
anyway.
So
though.
do something where you can have
New
a
York is so expensive for our
sustainable
children. I'm
life,
scared.
so that you're not afraid, that you're not so stressed out all the time, and that you're not afraid to take chances. And
It's a different world now, though.
It is. It's so different. It's always hard. It must always be hard to give advice to your children, because they're in a different generation.
And because you have to think your biggest fear as a parent, me as a mom, is if my kids don't succeed, what did I do wrong? So that's always been a fear of mine. I mean, obviously, for a while, I personally took my son's passing. It was my fault. Like, I always felt that way, and everybody was like, it's not your fault. It wasn't my fault. I did everything I possibly could for him. I know that some of it was me hiding it a little bit, too, and that might have been my fault at the beginning. But after my family all found out...
You do the
and-
best you can.
'Cause
That's
it's
all we can
kind
ever
of like
do.
Your love for them is enabling the situation, but that's, I've been through the same thing.
I was his biggest
right,
enabler.
right.
And
Because
you don't
loved the
realize
per-
it.
You loved him like nobody else would, and
Are you
that's
kidding me? And
That's
the
usually
one
what
thing all you
happens.
have to do is say to me, Mom, I'm hungry. Well, how much you need? Where do I send the food? What do I do?
it's so hard to be in that situation for anybody that until you're really in it, nobody really understands it.
You don't.
I totally get it.
Yes, thank you, because nobody does. So as a parent, our biggest fear is, and again, they're not successful, you ruin their lives. You are in control of their lives. For the first 18 years, and to me, always, they're my children.
Absolutely.
I don't care if they were 50. If I'm still, I won't be here, but if I am, then I need to make sure whatever I do, they're going to be happy. And that's it. And then when they're happy and they're successful, guess what? We did it. We
Right.
did it. We did it. We succeeded. That's what we live for. As a parent, that's what you live for.
As parents, we're always going to baby them. We're always going to say that nothing's wrong with them. Or, it was big. Like, I dealt with both my children with ADHD and stuff like that. And with Michael, I was in denial. With Angelo, I went right away.
Yeah.
You understand? I had him evaluated, everything, boom. And you know what? I'm the same way. So I knew it was possible.
Yeah.
For Michael was, thank God, it changed both of their lives. I mean, I wouldn't medicate them, but I did.
But my
What was
Michael had
needed.
speech. Michael needed it.
Right.
Michael had an IEP, so did Sean. You know what? It just helps them. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right, so if we enable it as parents, but we have to guide them the right way. That the biggest thing for us is to guide them in the right direction, and hope that they make the right choices, and maybe bribe some people along the way, and we'll do whatever you got to do. But as long as they're really happy, would you rather them happy or doing something they don't want to do?
No, I want them happy. Of
Right,
course.
which is why we work
But-
the
and
way
successful.
we do. But that's what.
But successful
Work.
doesn't have to be monetary.
Well, we want them to actually have a roof over their head.
Yes. Yes, but I'm saying, it doesn't always have to be where you have to have, a certain thing. I feel like more on the lines of you have love, you have your life, you have your health, you have a good job, you pay the bills, you put food on the table. That's what I want. Meet a nice girl, get married the right way. Don't follow your mother's footsteps, please.
I have a slightly different take on it. This actually was an epiphany that I had sometime during parenting them, maybe in middle school or something like that, somewhere along the way when they started to get a little older and they started to be more independent. I discovered that their childhood and their babyhood was for me, but their adulthood and their life is theirs, not mine. It's theirs. So, I'm so glad that I had access and so much time with them to teach them and to show them and to, help them and to be there for them and to give them, meet their needs and teach them, whatever, But then they are going to be who they are. And the best you can do is set them up for having the right tools to navigate without you, because they're not going to always listen to you, and even if they do, you're not always going to be right. So
that's what we both just said, just in different words.
Similar, but different. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying that, see, I will raise my kids until they're 50, if I'm alive, but you're
not going to let them go.
No, never.
But you're going to give them the tools, but you want them to do things on their own.
I don't, but I have to, because the more that I insist that I'm involved, the more they're going to push me away. And, because they will. I feel it right.
You just sent Jesse to college.
I feel it right now. No, I know. I can't help it. I'm not saying what I'm doing is... I'm not saying do what I do. I'm not saying I'm doing the right thing. I'm saying in my heart, I know that what they need from me now is different than what they needed from me when they were little. When they were little, they needed, snacks and shelter and food and school and love and reading and joy and adventure and all that stuff. They needed to learn empathy and manners and all that stuff. Now, they need
food, shelter, loving,
and their wings.
No, but they know how to get those things now. I have an air fryer. What are you talking about? They need to navigate adult situations as adults. And so they need my, advice on that. And they need, what I have learned about going with your gut. If you feel like something is off with this interaction with this person, then get away from them, kind of things like that. They need more practical solutions as adults living in the world. They don't need goldfish. I'll still buy them goldfish. Don't get me wrong. I still do buy them goldfish, and they love goldfish. But now that they're older, I think there's my role in their lives is still their mom, but my job as their mom is different than it was before. It isn't different as far as I'm still taking care of them, but it's in a different way. You know what I mean? It's in a different way.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. And your kids are probably going to go a little further, because I don't know. I'm more of a shelter mom.
No, she's a shelter.
No, I'm not. My kids take public transportation all over the place.
Oh, I'm not.
They won't go into an Uber.
I'm a hover mom.
I'm a hover mom too.
And I'm not ashamed of it. But I also I'm experiencing both things. Same things with them being teenagers, but I'm still got a little one.
Yeah.
So it's like,
what a pleasure, what a gift it is to have that surprise.
Not all the time, but and once they started catching up to each other's age, they start fighting. No, but it's nice to see him, Michael, show Angelo different things.
Yeah.
And that's probably his God. Like he looks to his big brother like a God.
They do need guidance as adults. Like as young adults, I guess.
Right.
You have a young adult.
Right.
And then you have a teenager. But they need guidance, but you can't push them. At this point, whatever decisions they're going to make they're on their own.
So you have to set
know everything.
Well, you have to set them up much earlier. Like you have to set them up when they're 10, 11, 8, 9, 6.
No, but you still have to give some advice in the adult age.
Of course. No, you totally.
Because this world sucks.
No, what I was going to say was you have to set them up to trust you and listen to you when they're little, so that when they make the big decisions and they encounter the adult situations, they'll still listen to you. Right. So you have to prove yourself to be a trustworthy ally to them.
The world, you guys have 21-year-olds, the world sucks.
I know. Believe me, my daughter told me all about it last night. I got an earful about how much the world sucks.
But you know what? We have to show them it's not that bad.
Right.
And you're gonna fall. And my advice to everybody, to everybody's kid, is the first time you move out, first time you start working, it's not easy.
No.
It doesn't matter if you're making good money. You don't know how to manage it. You don't know what's important, what's not important. Still going out. You still have that little bit going out life, but you still have bills to pay now.
Yeah.
And it's I remember, it was a struggle. It was always a struggle.
Yep.
I don't think until my 30s I felt okay.
Yeah, I know. Neither did I.
I'm in the 40s and I still don't feel okay.
And the 40s were my best life. That was my best time.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, that's, I think, my best time, too. But, I mean, only because I didn't have to worry about it. You know, now I just worry about them, and that's it. And I know there's never going to be enough money to leave them to make them not have to make these decisions. I really do hope that they be happy.
I had a really cool conversation with my friend Teresa yesterday, and she was telling me that when her son was in elementary school, there was a program on manners, and it was optional. It was like a 6-hour thing, like different 6 weeks. That's what I'm trying to say. And each week they would focus on a different, like, basic tenet of manners, of politeness, a polite society, being a, you know. And at first her son was like kicking and screaming, I'm not going to this, I'm not going to this, I'm not going to this. And then he said, but then he loved it. And one of the things that they learned, which she had forgotten about, was because we were talking and she was like, one of the things you should do, and this is what I was telling my daughter last night, to make life better, is to always assume the intention of the other person is positive. You know, when you have an interaction with a person, assume that they're not trying to be mean to you. Assume that they're trying to be nice. Take that as
within reason.
As well, and accept the fact that you'll be proven wrong a lot of the times. Well, you know, but if you go in there with plan A should be that they're not ill-intentioned.
But you told me about Eliana speaking to somebody on the train, and that could have turned out either way. Unfortunately, you never know.
Right. But
so, you know, to have that guard up at the same time.
Oh, listen to your inner voice. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. I mean, that's like a given. That's one of the basic
tenets. Even though we cannot determine when it's going to happen, anything's going to happen, but you have to be, you don't know if they're going to grab your bag or
You know, when we interviewed Ed Rose, who wrote that book,
Why Not Find a Way.
Why Not Find a Way, and his first book was Growing Up in the church, yeah. So he was institutionalized, and so he made his own plan, and I admired that plan being good. And one of the things that he said in there was, follow your gut. You know, go with your inner voice. If you think it feels wrong, it is wrong. And that's always something I thought was good, too.
And they're on our website, the 10 things.
Yeah, if you want to look it up. We had a great interview with him, and you could find it on our website.
We're doing an okay job.
That's parenting in a nutshell.
What's the craziest thing one of your children did? Well, what do you?
Okay,
yeah, you go first, and then I'll go.
Started writing a list of the craziest stuff that they say. You know.
Oh, the saying things. I don't know.
The first thing I can remember on that list was that they made me say. That's what my list was. It was get that pork chop out of your nose. But anyway, the craziest thing that she did. Right? Who says that? I'm like, did I just say the sentence "get that pork chop out of your nose"? Because that's what it sounded to me. She was like 6. We had a desktop computer. She got on it. Apparently knew my PayPal password and ordered $5,000 worth of Shopkins stuff. She found some warehouse in another country,
and she this to be great.
Gave them my pay. She ordered like stuff that a store would order, like that Walmart would order to sell on their shelves. She ordered that. She ordered like 10 million little shopping carts, each individually wrapped, that you had to open up. They had a little toy surprise inside. And by the time we figured out like what the hell was going on, she had opened every single one of them and we couldn't return them.
Well, why'd you just bring the boxes in the house?
Well, that was the thing. We didn't know what was in the boxes, but she did. And so we opened them, and we didn't think she was going to, in the middle of the night, get up and open every little shopping cart.
So hold on. You spent
$5,000. So for the next, I don't know, year, we would go through like BJ's or something, and they would have like these beautiful fire pits with like an outdoor couch and everything. And it would be like $2,500. I'm like, we could have had 2 of those for the amount of Shopkins.
I would have called my bank. I would have canceled everything.
You couldn't. It was PayPal. They wouldn't let us.
Oh,
it came directly out of our checking account.
Wow.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I would have probably been in jail right now. Sean used to have a little lunchbox. It was a lunchbox, right? It had, underneath you could unzip, and then the top. My Sean loved his cars, like Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
He was big with cars. One day, he's sitting on the porch, and he was talking to something, and he's looking at his fingers, and he was like, wow. And he's talking to all his little fingers. And then I see him put something in the lunchbox. It was no food in the lunchbox. It was just for cars. And he's doing all these things, and I look at him and Sean, who are you talking to, baby? He goes, look, Mommy, all my friends, the ants are all my friends. There was ants crawling all over, ants in the lunchbox.
God.
I sent him to my sister's house. Get the fuck out of here. You're not coming to my house. Oh no, I literally held him by the back of his shirt.
Oh,
and
my.
I literally walked him across the street. It's a good Anthony's house. Tell him Mommy went to the bathroom or Mommy's dead because I ain't fixing you.
Oh, wow.
And he was so excited. He had little black ants crawling all over his hands. All over. I was like, yeah, no, not happening.
That's awesome.
And they haven't had wild parties?
No, they've been to wild parties. Actually, Michael, that was Sean as a little baby. He was like 3. He was cute. He was really cute. Michael and his friends went to a party here before going away. And let's just put it this way. Friends got a little intoxicated. Michael was drunk too.
Did you get your deposit back?
For what?
Oh, the party.
No, it wasn't at my house. Thank God. No. But Michael walked out of the party holding his friend in his arms like a bride. Literally, and stumbling all over the place. And yeah, threw up all over her car, the mom's car, when she picked him up. It was hysterical. Thank God it
Oh, my
wasn't me.
God.
But no, my kids didn't really do crazy things. Tommy brought home a couple of animals that we had to
Right.
keep. You know, he hid him in the closet, in a basket, heard things barking, didn't even have a dog, you know.
I think my kids are too scared.
Yeah, my kids
I'm scared
really,
of you. No, really. What did they do?
No, I mean, I can't recall them. I mean, he did cute things as little, both of them did, like, you know, taking things apart that they shouldn't have and stuff like that. But they were pretty good kids.
No, all of us are good
Yeah,
kids.
I mean, like, definitely didn't use the crowd. Although Michael probably could have ordered a bunch of stuff onto my.
One of my favorite things that Michael did, because he's like me, he likes crazy stuff, and he have a sequins Danny DeVito pillow? Like, that's what he wanted. He wanted a sequins Danny DeVito
And
pillow.
Keanu Reeves.
Or, yeah, that means
Keanu
Keanu Reeves. So he bought one, because who knew they made them, but they do. And he's like, look at my pillow of Keanu Reeves.
I'm like, that's horrible.
I'm like,
Speaking
that's
of
awesome.
sequins.
I'm like, that's so awesome.
We put our kids, me and my sister, put Tommy, Bobby, and Brian in dancing school because they wanted to do it. My niece did it. So we put them in dancing school, and their recital was a sequence outfit. It was black and black pants. I literally had to hide it because my son, but he looked so good in it.
Wore it everywhere.
He wanted to wear it to school. And I literally said, Tom, we must have broke it in the washer because it's no longer here. That was not happening. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It was very shiny. It was like spirit fingers. Like, no, it was.
He
Jazz
was a
hands.
performer.
Yeah.
That lasted us like to the end of the competition, and then we never went back to dancing school again.
Well, he must have liked it.
They all liked it. I think they just wanted to be involved in things, and then they did the regular things like basketball, baseball.
My kids never did
Football.
those things, unfortunately.
Not even Jesse?
Oh, Michael
I
plays
did.
sports.
No, Jesse doesn't do any. Jesse's on the bowling team and the handball team.
And the chess team.
No,
One time at band camp,
he should be on the chess team. I don't think they have a chess team. My brother used to be on the chess team every year.
Well, Angelo quits every team. We've tried soccer. We've tried. I think the next thing is karate. I don't know. He just doesn't like it. But then at the end of last year, he goes, "Do I have baseball today?" I go, "What?" Like, you waited how many weeks to say that? Every week we had to rip you out of the house to go.
Michael was the same way.
But my Michael, he plays football and baseball, and he likes it.
Yeah,
You know.
no, my Tommy loved it all. Sean loved basketball. Michael, I think Sean did soccer for like one season. Michael loved everything, but he would quit and think he can just go back to the team whenever he wants to be on the team.
That's how
Mom,
Angelo is.
Mom, didn't I have a soccer game today? So Michael, you quit 6 months ago. It's not even
Right.
soccer season.
It's like when they're ready to do it, like when they want to do it. And then I said to Angelo this year, "You want to join?" He goes, "No." But you asked us about it. Well,
Then
you
my
know.
nephews did karate, and I remember Michael going in there and wanted
Jesse
to do
did that.
karate.
yeah, Jesse did karate.
He was far advanced.
He got his black belt. Jesse did karate from the time he was in kindergarten.
Why would he stop?
That's what I said.
She was so upset.
Because I invested a lot of my life in the waiting
Because I
room of
guess
karate.
he felt that he was over it.
Mr.
Maybe it wasn't
Miyagi.
challenged, but I have to say, from hearing the stories from Elle about Jesse, Jesse's looking for a girl.
Yeah, he's
That's
at
his
that.
sport right now.
He said to me the other day, because he's been very aloof, and so I'm very nosy. I said, I keep thinking, he's got to be like hiding something. Like,
No, he's just being a teenager.
and I said, so you've been on the phone a lot. Is there a girl involved? And he just looks at me and he's like,
Hope it's not an 800 number he's calling.
he goes,
don't need those.
They don't have
anymore.
those anymore.
I was gonna say they don't need those anymore.
No, so I said, is there a girl? And he's like, no. He goes, not yet. And he said, like, you know, the problem with my school is that we've all been together because it's a 6th grade through 12th grade school. And he goes, so they knew me when I was stupid and did stupid things, so now they don't want to talk to me. And I go, what? That's like his perception of it.
No, he should know that they want the bad kid, and he's a good kid. Although Michael's been with the same girl, and
Because they're both good kids.
They're both actually. She's way much better than him.
Stop that.
What's wrong with you?
She's graduating a year earlier than him.
He could too. He just doesn't want to. I don't think
I
she
didn't
should.
want him to actually, but she's a good girl. But still, I don't like that they even consider themselves boyfriend and girlfriend.
Well, they're college sweethearts. That's beautiful.
No, they're
No,
not.
they're high
college.
school
They didn't
I mean,
get there yet.
high school sweethearts.
They
That's
didn't
what-
get
get
to
there
college
yet.
yet.
High school sweethearts. High school sweethearts.
I figured once they go to college in 2 separate directions, then it's, we'll see how much they really like each other.
It's not that you hoped it. I mean,
I
listen,
said I'll see how much they really like each other. I didn't say they should break up.
I'm just saying, it's you. My kids have girlfriends too, and it's like, I like them both.
But you can't get too invested in them because it's like, this is one of the reasons that when your parenting style comes in to play, because they've never had girlfriends and you've had boyfriends, or whatever. You've had
Many.
You've had
you have
relationships
time?
and they haven't.
Do that.
So that's why I like to keep the lines of communication open. So if they want to ask me anything about that, which I know they don't, so
They so don't want
I know,
that.
but they know that they can. They know that they can, and that I'm not going to judge them, and I'm not going to tell them,
I'm gonna tell them go ask ChatGPT.
right, and I'm going to tell them the truth. Like,
Go ask ChatGPT.
I mean, I started getting really weird about it, I guess, because we were at dinner yesterday, and I'm not going to say the story because I'm not going to embarrass him. Then they were talking about, because it's going to be her prom 1st. Mm-hmm. So Danny said something to him. He turns red, and then I go, just make sure you wear a condom, please.
Oh my God.
And Danny goes, oh God. I go,
Michael
somebody's gotta
must
tell.
have
I didn't
died.
hear you say, no, he didn't. I said, because I'm not ready to be a grandmother. And I don't want to have to take care of the kid yet. But I want you both to be smart.
you said that?
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
I said, well,
Sean and Michael, if you
if
ever
it's
need
gonna-
any advice, go to Christy Barrasso.
I am
No,
so
I mean-
proud of you.
what am I going to say? Don't
Right.
use one?
I
mean,
agree with you 100%.
You need
No,
the
I
money?
would-
Just charge it on my card. I don't see what it is.
I would have probably
Go to
punched my husband in the face and said, "Be a man and say
He's
something."
already spoke to him, and he goes, well, he doesn't want his mom to. Well, he didn't get mad.
Right, because
And
you
I
know
was
what?
sitting next to him, so it's not like I'm like.
You can't trust
my
that your
baby.
husband told him. You can't trust that. You have to make sure that shit gets done. You do it yourself. You know that about housework, and it's about everything.
And there I am saying it at the table, and it was not a big table. It was just the 4 of us. And there's Angelo.
If you're just listening, she's
You know
like
what they give you in the
on his
restaurant, those things to play on?
he has-
We don't
on a
allow the iPad.
video
so-
game or whatever. The
And he was
control thing.
like he was going to ask what was going on.
And
But then he
just
was
shut
like,
up.
not to.
He probably knows. I can't imagine. That's why Michael.
But that's
"Don't
why I
go
don't
in my
want
room,
them to
don't go in my
probably
room."
right. I don't want them to probably know. That's why I'm going to tell
Well,
them.
I'm not going to tell him. He turned 9 today.
Well, no, not him.
Happy birthday, Angelo!
I'm
Can't
totally
wait till
not
you open
telling
my
him.
present. Can't wait till you open.
He thinks Michael's girlfriend's his girlfriend. So
I know he thinks he has Michael's
Well,
life.
does he know that they can't share those?
I look when she come over, he has to sit next to her, or he cries because why doesn't she like me? He's the blocker.
Yeah.
I send him in there.
I can't. Well, now you know, Michael.
Oh, he knows. The cameras are everywhere anyway. But he definitely knows. Well, our kids are good kids. We actually we have a good bunch of kids, not just because they're our kids, but whatever.
No, we do have very good boys.
We could be in a lot worse shape.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you don't know. I mean, you know that you raise a good kid, and you know how they are to you, and you know how other people tell you they are to them, but you just want to make sure that they're safe. That's all I care about. That's all you can never, once you become a parent, you can never really sleep again.
Never, I can't. I'm not into that yet, and Michael doesn't. I don't really allow him to go anywhere. Very, very rarely. And I can't imagine what you guys go through because I like everybody in the nest.
So do I, but it just doesn't. It's not gonna.
I just
that's
can't
not the
do
way
it.
it. That's not
My
the way
nest
it is.
is empty.
No, they have to fly.
But I got Roscoe.
You have Sean still too.
Yes, but he.
Sean is still there. She's like, I have an empty nest, but Sean is still there.
No, you don't get it. Yes, Sean is here, and I love my Shawnee, but he's like working, and then he comes home, he showers, he goes out with his girlfriend. He doesn't come home till 9 o'clock, and then he's tired, showers again, and goes to bed.
No,
So-
he talks to you. You say I'm going to sit down and talk to him.
Yes, for 5 minutes. As long
That's
as it
what
takes him to
happens.
put some food in his mouth.
But at least you know he's there. That's how my kids
See
are
how
too. They don't
bad
have
she
time.
is with Sean.
No, they don't have time
no.
for me either. My kids
I
don't have
love-
time for me either. But
That's the middle child.
they're still there.
I love Sean.
The middle child.
I
syndrome
love,
he's gonna have.
I love all my children. He's really not the middle child. He is, but there was 14 years in between, so he's really not. But
He really is. He had an
He
older
just-
brother. You know,
Right.
he grew up with an older
It's
brother.
Tommy, it's Michael, and then there's Sean.
Right.
No.
You're so middle
no,
childing
because
him.
I am so proud of Sean. Really, I didn't think
You're very proud of him, but he gets to you a little bit differently.
because he does stupid things. Like
He
when
must
I,
be the one that's like you.
no, because he's just
He's
fucking
funny.
lazy.
He's funny.
He's
I'm
lazy.
Sorry, he's so funny.
Like when I go out, like I went to go visit Michael. We stopped somewhere, and I know he loves like the what are they called? Those bars that are like $30 a freaking bar. Dubai chocolate. I saw it. I was like, oh, it's from the Amish. It must be good for him. So I'm gonna pick it up. I
The
bought him
Amish
that.
went to Dubai.
Are they that? Is the school
What?
that close to Lancaster?
Yeah,
Oh, so it's not a far ride. You made it sound like it was.
50 minutes past Lancaster.
Oh, okay.
So we did. We drove me and we took him. We drove to Lancaster for the day. We went to that all-you-can-eat.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
it called?
Smorgasbord?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that big thing that everybody loves.
Yeah.
And we had a great, you know.
I still can't understand how the Amish get Dubai chocolate.
Well, it's really a tourist attraction over there, and but they still come by on the horse and carriage.
You
stuff,
had to
but
see them. They were torturing that horse. I felt so bad.
they
There
have
was
good
like 7
outlets
of them
there.
on it.
They have good outlets.
We didn't go. We didn't do the shopping. We went to Walmart. We hit there. We hit Walmart.
All the classy places.
You know what?
You know what? We don't have a Walmart in
I
New York
know.
City.
We do. It's the one where they got trampled. The security guard got trampled to death on Black Friday.
That's not New York City.
Oh, that's in Long Island.
Long
technically.
Island. Long Island is different.
We have no Walmarts here.
I know. Obviously, parenting changes as you get into midlife, and there's all kinds of stories, and it's nice to look back on when your kids were little and they still need you when they're big. It's always, you're once a parent, always a parent. I think that's a safe thing to say, right?
Yep.
And they kind of stuck with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we're stuck with them.
Thank you for joining us on the Mid-Life Mafia podcast.
And please follow us on all socials at Mid-Life Mafia.
Welcome to the family.
We're the Mid-Life Mafia, we rise and we roar. Chasing dreams, not dollars, we're settling our score. Wrinkles are our trophies, we wear them with pride. The fire's burning brighter, we've got nothing to hide. Riding on estrogen, confident will. Defying every label, climbing every hill. Not our mothers, not fading, we rage with grace. Dropping truth bombs, hot flashes, and taking up space.